Okay, hello everyone and welcome to this video on my thoughts on the recent card changes to Elder Scrolls Legends in its open beta form. So the two cards that were nerfed were Soulrest Marshal, which used to be a 5 mana 4/4, if I can find it, there it is. That, if you have more health than your opponent, reduces the cost of the next card that you play, and I'm pretty sure it is card, in terms of it being a minion or a spell, by 6. So this nerf basically made the cost reduction go from 6 down to 5, and what that means is that you can't go Soulrest Marshal into Triumphant Jarl on turn 5 and essentially get a pseudo ramp type effect. This is definitely a good thing because no one wants to play a game where on turn 5 your opponent plays for 5 mana, 8/8 worth of stats, probably in the Shadow Lane where it's uninteractable, that draws 2 cards. That's a step too far in terms of tempo gaining. And this card is a very tempo heavy card. Obviously, if you've had a powerful early game and you're ahead on life and ahead on board, then playing this card is just always going to be a good play, regardless of what card it kind of reduces in cost. So the nerf went from 6 down to 5 in cost reduction, so you can't do Soulrest into Triumphant Jarl, but you can do Soulrest into Leaf Lurker or Blood Dragon. Obviously, that's still a very powerful card, and I've no doubt that many copies of it will be run in green decks in the future. But at the moment, the nerf seems to be pretty reasonable, as whilst Soulrest into another 5-drop is still very terrifying, Soulrest into Burglar or Jarl is just a degree over the top, in my opinion. So that nerf I'm absolutely fine with, that seems perfectly reasonable. But the other nerf, which was to Murkwater Savage, which used to be a 2 mana 2/2, whenever you play another agility card, gain +1/+1 in stats, has now been nerfed down to a 3 mana 2/2. So this is a really big deal in terms of this card's playability, because this kind of growth snowball-y card is really best the earliest you can play it, because similar to Undertaker in Hearthstone, which terrorized the meta for way too long, this card, if you play it turn 2 at the moment, has a very high likelihood of becoming a 4/4 or even a 5/5. Because if you look at this curve, you can go Savage into Kinsman, into Deshan, into, Leaf Lurker or Soulrest. Like that kind of curve, which also benefits this card itself, that demands an answer, is ridiculous. And for that reason, this card being targeted for nerfage is definitely good and proper, that's fine. However, I don't particularly agree with how they went about this, as nerfing it to a 3 mana 2/2 means it's, I think, largely unplayable. So if you look at the curve, if you play this on turn 3 over your other, I would say more powerful 3-drops, you then have a reduced density of green cards to play afterwards. And at this point in the mid-game, you do want to be playing more of a flexible game plan, of playing your spells such as Finish Off, playing your red cards such as Blood Dragon, which are just more powerful than your green cards at this point. You don't want to be restricted into playing your green cards just to buff your underpowered 3-drop that this would become. Like, what is so powerful about this as a 2-drop at the moment is that you've got a ton of 2-drops and 3-drops, plus a couple of 4-drops, to just curve into naturally, and so you're not really restricted at all into playing this card. It's just great in any agility or mainly agility based deck, which this mid-range archer list is. So that's kind of why I don't like this nerf. I think it makes it too bad, and one reason why I really don't like it becoming this bad is because I really want a goblin-y deck to remain completely viable. I love the tribe kind of thing, and so the fact that this kind of once really powerful goblin deck that used to be so powerful is going to get so much weaker as a direct result of this nerf kind of really sucks. Like, if we look at Murkwater Savage here, and then look at all the other green cards, and even in Swift Strike, like, it's not too hard to see the game plan here. This Goblin deck aims to play Murkwater Savage, ideally turn 2, if you have Elixir Magicka Hell, even turn 1, and then just grow it to obscene proportions, and then maybe even Swift Strike it so we can punch face twice for, like, I don't know, 10 damage in a turn. This is the kind of list that is negatively impacted by this nerf, to too much of a degree, I think. And whilst the growth effect of Savage is maybe unhealthy for the game as a whole, I think I would have liked the nerf to be, instead of making it a 3-drop and therefore infinitely worse than it is as a 2-drop, I would have liked it to be moved to another attribute. So what this means is that if you moved it, say, to Intelligence, just based on what's in this Goblin deck here, the already powerful Archer midrange deck wouldn't be able to use it. This kind of nerf would still support a Goblin archetype, which is naturally aggressive, but it would prevent the already powerful Archer midrange list from benefiting even further from this naturally powerful 2-drop, as it wouldn't be able to play it. That's the kind of nerf that I would have liked to see. However, they didn't go with it, they made it a 3-drop, and I can kind of understand why, as this kind of card is very scary, and losing a game to this card by itself, essentially, really sucks. So, on the whole, I'm fine with these nerfs. Soulrest Marshal, that was a great nerf. This nerf, slightly questionable, but if we have to sacrifice the Goblin archetype for the health of the game and the metagame, then I think I'm happy. I think that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. But those are my thoughts on these nerfs. If you agree or disagree, feel free to leave a comment in the comments section below, and if you want to see more Elder Scrolls Legends footage and commentary, leave a sub and I'll be sure to upload more. Thanks for watching as always, have a good day, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Ta-ta.